He is a dynamic entrepreneur with a proven track record of success and is the founder and CEO of SOVA Skills Education Private Limited. He has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills by successfully raising funds and steering the company towards growth and revenue centric success. Pragat's entrepreneurial spirit is further evident in his role as a founding team member at Vyomika Space, where he has not only played a vital role in raising funds but has also delivered outstanding results for the business. His ability to assemble and lead a team of talented individuals highlights his passion for nurturing talent and fostering a collaborative work environment, with a strong focus on growth and a profound dedication to entrepreneurship. So, sir, without further ado, I would like you to start because we are all eagerly waiting for the session and the insights.
Thank you, Simran. Just wanted to know if I'm going to see the blank screens here before my introduction, or I'll be having an interactive session now. So, if no people will be participating, it will be more engaging the session, right? But if we are expecting only me to speak, then it would be no me only that will be speaking of the topic, right? So before I start, I want everybody to please at least tell me that are we expecting your participation in the session, or we are just going to be very formal in the whole session that I'm going to start. I think I am audible to everyone, right?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So I guess we will be expecting a very less contribution to the whole thing, all right? Let's introduce a bit myself. Samran have given a good introduction of me. I am Pragat Barsal, and I am founder and chief executive officer at SOVA Skills Education Private Limited. Also, I am a founding team member of another venture, which is Vyomika Space Academy. So we people are the only organization from Punjab, the SOVA Skills Education, which is the direct partners of ISRO, the channel partners of ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and we have been working pan India with the government pipelines and also the private institutions. And the main agenda of working with ISRO is to increase the contribution from North India in space and technological areas, because we all know that 95% of the contribution comes from the southern part of India, right? So we only 5% of the contribution is from the northern part. So to improve this particular thing, we are working with ISRO and some other organizations, government bodies as well, so that we can help them, help the schools, help the rural schools, and also the private schools to grow in terms of science and technology. And we set up the space labs concept that we have, brought into the market, where we set up a proper lab, and that particular lab is totally dedicated to space science and technological areas. So we all know, we all have been to the schools. We know that the labs. When we talk about labs, we see the material microscopes, we see chemicals all packed in an almirah, but we don't see them coming out of the almirah and being used. But in our lab, the concept is very different. When you might come to my LinkedIn profile or go to any of the page that we have or our particular organizations, and you'll see that our lab are not only meant to be in the almiras, the material that we use, but it is a total practicable model that we have transformed, which is why we were chosen as top 40 startups of Punjab, and also several other awards we have achieved. Right. This is the thing that I have been into this entrepreneurship field from last 3 years. As I see that we all have been interacting in this whole session. I have not prepared any what we say a special PPT for this particular session, because it's a very common thing. Right now in the century we are living, or in the last 4 to 5 years, we have seen this thing growing, the entrepreneurship thing, the startup thing, right? We all know that when Shark Tank India is there and many other episodes are coming, the entrepreneurship is a thing which is highly promoted in India by the government as well. All right. So I don't think it will be a very new topic to all of you. And as you people, as I see, are from most of you are from the IT and CSE departments. You guys are the most prominent people to opt the entrepreneurship field furthermore, because CSIT guys are the people who develop the products in the tech products and the tech innovations that area can see. So this is the thing. I will ask you people if I should, open my camera as well, or should we go like this only? Because I see nobody have the camera opened in the particular screens. So should I open the camera, start the video as well, or should I be on the audio part only? Yes, okay. So we have one hand raised for the camera. Anybody else who want? So that should I can I should go for the camera and all. Okay. Okay, so let's start my video as well, and I'll urge you guys as well to please have a look at my face and let me look at your faces so that I can see we people are having a good session. All right, and the rest of it is your call. No, there'll be no force coming from our end, right? So here I am at my place. I'm at my home office where I usually give the time to. I'm sorry for my eyes. My eyes are suffering from a viral thing that is going really viral right now, right? So coming to the things, what we are expecting today in this session is the topic for the today's session is that the role of startup in the growth of Indian economy, right? So before starting this topic, I want few people here to answer some of my questions, right? That I have, not very formal questions, just a simple view of how you feel these things, how you, what's your point of view on the concepts that I'll be asking you, right? So see, we are going to talk about entrepreneurship and startups, the role of a startup in the growth of Indian economy. What actually is a startup? If you any of you can answer me, I'm seeing a lot of people here. If any of you can answer me what actually is a startup, what is your point of view on it, so that I can start the thing from my point of view. But before that, I should know what my audience is thinking on the topic that we are interacting today. What actually the startup is? Can anybody answer me? I see a lot of chats coming from your end. If it will be really good if you can answer it with the mic open. It's a AMA thing, right? You can ask me anything, I can ask you anything. So it will be good to interact. So please, if anybody can tell me on the mic what actually is a startup in their point of view, as one of the guys said here, that this is an idea which can solve real life problems. Okay, a good definition. We are
Startup is a business that actually changes someone's life, or it
okay.
can have an impact on something like in global issue or a problem,
Okay,
and
okay.
which
A
can
good
solve it.
definition again. Good definition again. Anybody else who can tell me what actually is a startup? We have two of the definitions from Kevin and one from Abhi. Anyone else who want their point of view to be put on the table? What actually is a startup? So no responses, or should I wait? Okay. So basically, as Abhi said, an idea which can solve a real life problem, and even Kevin explained some similar thing, that idea that can solve global issue, right? So if we talk in terms of economy, right? If we talk in terms of some commerce language, and startup is a very simple thing, which is solving the demand that is into the market, right? Creating a supply for the demand which is in the market. An entrepreneur when starts a startup, or a group of entrepreneurs when start a startup, they people look for the demand, they figure out the demand and then create a supply for it. That is what basically a startup needs. Got it? Do you people feel the problem, or do you feel the thing that I just told, that how simple the definition can be in terms of startup? Startup is, yes, obviously, real life problems, the problem that people are facing. But before that problem, there is a demand for that particular thing. For example, if we see the startups around us, you see hotels. right? They are at the vacation place. People want to stay there, right? So there is a demand. There's not a problem there that they want to stay here, so here is a problem, right? No, there is a demand. So uh, startup is not solving a problem. Startup is, supplying to the demand, creating a chain, creating a supply, right, to a demand which is already existing in the market. That is what startup means basically, right? For example, we are setting up the space labs, right? We were in touch with ISRO from 2016, and we were running an NGO where we figured out that there is a demand of a platform, a stable platform in the school where students can get handy experiences of space science and technological areas and STEM areas. So there was not a problem there. There is already a concept of STEM labs. There is already, some other things going on, but there was a demand of more, right? And to cater that demand, we created a supply. So this is what exactly a startup means, right? You, as an, for example, if anybody of you is going to start a startup, you people are going to either create a demand or figure out a demand and then supply to that demand, right? A very basic thing. And when we, why I am explaining this in the economics, language, this is because we want to figure out how this is affecting the Indian economy, right? So as two of you guys, participated in this whole conversation. So I wish all of us have a broader view of what actually startup is because of these two responses, right? So we have this very basic criteria in the mind that okay, something that solves the problem, that is a startup. Obviously, something that solves the problem is a startup. We say that normally it's a kind of bookish, I what we say definition in today's era, but the thing is that if there is a problem going on, for example, let's assume there's a problem going on, but there is no demand of that particular thing. How can we solve that particular problem, right? For example, we see a lot of startups that are failed, because there is not a lot of demand of that particular problem. They are trying to solve the problem, right? They are not trying to create the supply for that particular demand. Where there is demand, there is a supply for that particular thing. So from my point of view, we don't solve the problems. We actually meet the demands of the people, and meeting a demand is never a problem, right? That is what I have assumed in this particular thing, right? So something, organization or an group of people who create a supply for particular demand is what a startup means. Now we'll understand what are the factors that a startup gives to the growth of the economy, right? For example, there is a startup in the area, and how it is giving the growth to the economy, why startups are needed into this particular thing. So we know what startup is, we know what entrepreneur is somebody who figure out that we need to start something, and startup is an organization that actually is used to deliver that demand, to give a supply to that particular demand, right? Now we all know that from last 2 to 3 years there is this culture going on in India, which is startups, right? uh, do more startups, encouraging people like you in the colleges, universities to step into startups. Why do we need startups? And I really need the answer to from most of you people, because you people are the bright minds. Why do we need startups, right? We know what the startup is, but why? What actually is the reason we need startups in the economy, in our native places, or wherever we are expecting these startups? Why do we need them? One thing is that we are trying to create a supply to the demand. What other things are there? Why do government want that people should start a startup? Why is the what is the reason behind this whole particular thing? Why this whole hype is being given to this particular concept of startups? So I want answer on this particular thing. Why do we need startups? Anybody of you? You see, there are a lot of businesses already, special businesses going on, from a huge amount of time they have given to the market. They have already settled up things in the places. But why do we need the startups? What was it? Okay, let's break it more even. What was the need of Amazon? Right, there were already stores where we can find the thing. What was the need of Amazon? What was the need of DMart? There were things, there were the businesses before that were fulfilling the same demand. What was the need of these things? Anybody to answer this? Kevin, maybe you can answer it. Abhi, maybe you can answer it. No? Should I not expect the answers? I asked in the initial when I started, could you please repeat? Okay. So why do we need startups? Very basic. There are already established business. There are already the businesses which are established from a huge time. But still we need startups. For example, in manufacturing industries we need them. In the other industries, in every industry we need similar startups. Why do we need them?
So
People
the
are
basic answer that I think why we need startup is
Mhm.
to grow, as like to grow, to expect more, to be more diverse. And because if we don't have startups, then there are only limited companies that will work on limited things. But when we have startups, we have new ideas, new
Mhm.
people working on different things, which will
Mhm.
help us grow as a community.
Okay. So,
Another
Kevin,
thing is that it will create new jobs, new product kind of services, and eventually, when there are startups,
mhm,
it has a potential to generate higher returns.
it has a potential to generate
Higher returns.
higher returns, right? So, we have different ideas on why we need startups, right? So, yes, as Mandeep said that the it generates something for us. It generates more what we say investments. It generates more cash to us, right? And also innovations is a part. I guess one of you guys have answered in the segment, right? And Kevin have his own definition why we need startups. Basically, there are a lot of industry leaders. We know TCS is there, we know Wipro is there, but still there are people who are giving the similar services of TCS, Infosys, and many more. Right. So, see, one thing is there is the need in the there is a huge demand on that particular thing. That's why we need to fulfill those demands, and we need more startups. We cannot depend on only one company. We cannot depend on only one business industry leader, right, to fulfill that particular demand, right? We cannot reach to every part of the world, right? Even Amazon is here to us, but still it is not reachable to every part of the world. So to reach the untouched parts, to reach the areas where some organizations cannot come, right? We need more and more companies to give similar kind of works with some innovation, with little innovation in it, right? And deliver to some areas where that particular industry leader is not working, right? Before that, before Amazon was there, we have offline stores. We do not get the things that were already that were already in some areas but not were reachable to other areas. So Amazon fulfilled that need, right? So within the offline industry leaders, Amazon stood out as an online industry leader. He was flying the things, and similar Flipkart comes out, right, for India. So to even the business leaders need the innovations, need the R&D to reach more people. So for that they need the startups. Not every time people like us are the consumers, or individuals are the consumers. B2B businesses are there, which means that businesses also are the consumers from other businesses, right? So to every business there is some areas which cannot be touched by them. For that particular thing, they either develop a team, or they either go for another company that can help them to fulfill that, right? So that's the thing when we say that we need these startups, right? And the other thing is that we need regular innovations, in this fast moving world, right? If we see the world from last past 10 years, if we see, we cannot give this similar kind of product to the people who are living right now in these after these 10 years. So we need innovations, and to do that innovations, to do bring the regular innovations to the particular industry, we need to give more startups, we need to generate more companies, and that's how we can bring it to the economical part as well. When more companies will be there, we will be catering more demand, we will be even creating more demand, and we will be giving more supply. And more supply and more demand, when it is catered, it means that we are generating cash flow. Cash is coming in and cash is coming out, which gives growth to the economy. When there is a cash flow in the in any sector, in any native place, you see that there is a growth in the economy, right? This is basically a economical growth, where government is focusing on developing more and more companies. You see India, right? We see that 75,000 startups, more than 75,000 startups are registered here, right? And that, why that is there? Because we are expecting more cash flow, we are expecting more cash in, more cash out. And that is how we are asking the companies and asking the startups to contribute more to our areas, more to our GDP, right? So basically what we are giving is more job opportunities, right? You people mentioned we are bringing new investments. The startups raise funds. We have raised funds, many other startups will be raising funds, they'll be bringing foreign money in the company, which indirectly is supporting the growth, supporting the economics of the country, right? That's how important the startups are to any country. More the startups, more the money is coming to any of the country, right? In India, we have several hundred unicorns, more than 100 unicorns are here. They have brought huge investments in India, right? Foreign investments, even the investments from India, right? That is directly adding something to the growth of the economy, GDP of the India, right? And that's why we need startups. That's why government is focusing on startups. And these sometimes when there is a lot of rush to this particular place, which right now India is facing, Indian market is facing, we sometimes get freeze into the investments sometimes are freeze. You see 2022, 2021, 2020, these 3 years who are having a lot of investments coming from Silicon Valley, coming from other foreign investors. But once it comes to 2022 end and 2023 starting, there was seen a huge amount of freeze in this investment market. The investments were taken out, the investments were not given to the market. So this is how the startup culture works. This is how the whole economical part works. We create more opportunities with startups, more jobs are there, government rely on the people who are starting up, and the economy relies on the startups, right? There is a huge factor that startup plays, the startup culture, the startup ecosystem is playing in terms of economical growth of any country, right? Wherever there are companies who are adding something to anything to the growth of the economy, we have seen massive growth in that particular place in terms of infrastructure, in terms of job opportunities, in terms of anything, right? So a startup means bringing in lot of things in terms of physical and in terms of virtual manner to any particular sector, right? It can be in terms of infrastructure, it can be in terms of investments, it can be in terms of anything, right? Wherever you will see a lot of startups, you will see the prices are getting good. The prices and the culture is getting very good. And the culture is, if the culture is growing, the economy is growing. Whole country is growing. If there is the startup culture going on in any company. Before us, it was in the European countries, it was in America, right? We have seen the growth of their companies, and then it comes the culture comes to us, and we developed huge things to the whole thing, right? So also, if you see that when it comes to startups are like nuclear chain reactions. If you have one place, for example, you people went to a trip, right? There's a trip, and you people saw a place which have very good views, but is never touched by any of the tourists, but is never touched by any of the native people. And you decide to go there with your friends, and you see there is a lot of good sceneries. It has good views and can be utilized into a tourist place. So you come back, you decide to open a restaurant there, right? You rented some land or you lease some land in any manner. You buy open a restaurant there, and you start marketing it, and you start inviting people there, right? People start coming, and with the word of mouth, you started getting more and more people. And you have created a demand, right? People are coming there to see beautiful views, and your restaurant is going good. But once more and more people are going to come in, because you was a startup there, many more other restaurant startups will be coming there, because there is a demand and they are going to give the supply, right? So you give birth to another startups, and once more restaurants are coming, more and more people will be coming there. And someone just thought that there are huge chances if we give people a chance to stay here and they can see the night views of the particular place because the place is very nice, right? So because of that particular thing, you get the hotels coming there. So you see, just because of one startup there at that place, with the chain of the we get the chain of the startups, right? And hence it comes to the growth of the infrastructure to that particular place, and also in terms of the economic growth of that particular place. So in the similar manner, if we consider that particular land as a country, and we consider one startup, there, let's suppose Paytm, Amazon, any big startup that is right now, it just came there and creates worth of that particular thing. To create worth, we need startups, right? That is the major contribution a startup can give to any economy of any country, right? So even it's not only considered the for the country, it's considered for the native places, as I just said. No, if you are into a village, right? You are in a village and you see people, there is a problem, there is a demand of particular thing. You start and start up in your village, and you will see that at some sort of point, if you are earning well, people will be seeing you, young minds will be seeing you, and you'll be admiring you and trying to do some similar concepts like you. So you are creating an environment there, you are creating an infrastructure there, and also once more and more startups are coming into a particular village, I know, let's say small shops are coming, small, businesses are booming. For example, welding, we can say restaurant, we can say, any sort of business, carpenter business, any small shop is considered as a startup right now. So if that particular thing is coming to that particular village, you are creating an infrastructure and an economic growth. You're contributing to that particular thing in your native place. So this is how a startup works. This is how this whole culture works. I hope you have understood why it is important and what actually is the role of a startup in the growth of the economy. Right now, coming to you people, if anybody wants to ask anything in terms of the thing that I have just explained, please share your queries here so that we can talk more, and we can wrap it up if you want soon. So I'll be waiting for your questions either on the what do we say, chat box, or either anybody can ask me here. Any questions from any of you? Please ask it in the comment section or anywhere if you want to ask it. No questions or no answers or no anything to say? At least we can say no questions in the chat box so that I can uh, examine that things, figure out the things that we are done with the session or anything. Yes, Ishika have raised the hand. Is there a question, or you're saying that everything is okay and we should go further? DPIIT, do we have to register company? Yes. If you want to go for a DPIIT recognition, right, you need a company, you need a private limited company, or either an LLP is considered right now, if I'm not wrong. Again, the DPIIT rules are getting changed, so I don't know if the partnership firms are recognized, but private limited firms are recognized by DPIIT. I have already recognized my startup. So you need to fill the forms. You need to go for a proper consideration form before that. If you are into any incubator, it will be easy for you because they'll guide you to go on how you can register yourself on Startup India portal and then the DPIIT recognition. So it is easy. No, you'll be considered as a startup, and it adds a value. It adds an accreditation to a startup if you are DPIIT recognized. And even Invest Punjab is giving the certificates to. They are registering the startups on their portal as well. Even they are giving the grant of 3 lakh rupees if your startup is registered on their portal, and they are helping you grow. So strategic support, mentoring support, and even the fund support is there from the what we say, Invest Punjab portal. The IP business first portal is there by Invest Punjab. You can register your company there as well, and also you can register it on DPIIT. Before Invest Punjab, you must go for DPIIT, because then you can easily log into the Invest Punjab portal if you are registered on the Startup India portal. So that's how it goes. Anything else? Can I start a startup solo? Depends. You can start a startup solo, but again, you cannot form a company solo. If it's a private limited company, you need a co-founder with you. You need trustworthy people, with you. Also, it's good to start solo, but it's never better to start solo. When it comes to running an organization, it's never a one-man army. It's always the team game, because you need people who will come to you, who'll always argue to your concepts, who will always come to you and tell that you are not doing it in the right manner. So you need people who will challenge you, right? Because you must know that जब हम अकेले भागते हैं तो ऐसे लगता है सबसे तेज हम ही भाग रहे हैं, right? So before this thing happens to you, you need people who can tell you कि नहीं आप तेज नहीं भाग रहे हो. You need proper guidance, and we need to solve these particular problems. It's not how you see the world, it's how people see the world, and you need to solve their problems, as you said, solve their demands, fulfill their demands. So to fulfill their demands, you need people from them who can tell you that okay, this is what we need. So it's always better to come out with an co-founder, come out with people who are good towards your vision, who knows what you are solving, and who are who have same enthusiasm to that particular thing you are solving, right? So always start with a team. And if you want investments to be raised, you can never raise it solo. Obviously you can raise, nothing is impossible, but the thing is, if you are in a team, then you are more recognized, you are more considered in terms of investments. So that's one thing. Can you suggest some incubators to get our idea incubator? Is there any charges? Okay. So Ishika, it depends, in what particular industry you are trying to do a startup. So for that particular industry, we have several incubators. For example, for agriculture, we have PAU, one of the best incubator for agricultural startups. If you want to in any IT field, you can go for STPI. STPI Mohali is one of the best startup. If you want a working space, if you want a working space in their particular institutions, then you need to pay, for example, 5,000 for a year for a small cabin. And if you want the conference halls for 200 an hour, there are some sort of charges, not huge charges, because they are government organizations. And for now, you can also go for I Am Punjab. I Am Punjab is free of cost. It offers you space as well. It offers you a strategic support as well, and it offer you a great what we say networking support, because they are mediator. I Am Punjab is a mediator who is connected to a lot of incubators, Thapar, IITs, IIT Ropar, I am saying, right, and STPI, and many more startups. So you can connect them. I Am Punjab, right? You can search it out anywhere, and you can see if you're here, you give your pitch, and they'll give you the office space as well. There's no need to pay anything to them, because they don't charge anything, right? And you will also get a huge and wonderful support from their wonderful team. Anything else from anybody? And okay, thank you. You are welcome, Kevin. I see you have participated a lot, and thanks a lot for that. It's always good if you are participating in the conversation, because somebody is coming and giving the time to interact with you people, not just coming and seeing the blank screens and all. Uh, we also want to spend some time and get good output from what we have shared. And if there is something which you feel is not good, was not up to the point, you can also mention that particular thing, so that we can improve ourselves. All right, we can improve ourselves in any manner, in any sort, because there is a lot that we do, and sometimes there are some points that we cannot cover. So we need you people to tell us, and we can, so that we can cover those points as well. Anybody else? Ishika, I hope your query is solved. If you want anything else, please write it down. I'll do that part as well. Any other query from anybody else? They can also say it right here. If there is no query, please let me know. So that I should not wait a lot for the queries and we can wrap it up.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for this informative session, sir. We have a small award of appreciation for you, sir, for your valuable time and your valuable insights. So I would request the IT team to please display it.
Okay.
So, sir, this we will send it to you via email. So, sir, thank you
Okay.
for this informative session, and
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing your valuable insights.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. This looks wonderful, and it was a good session, I'll say. And people were good here. People were interacting. I was expecting more from you people because see, you people are from the universities and campuses are, not what we say, not viable to everybody, right? So if you are into wonderful campuses, make sure you all cater the things that are given to you. We have studied from tier 3 colleges, right? Even I just completed my graduation, and I have seen people admiring City University a lot, right? So I think City University should be admired because of the people who are there, not because of the faculties that they are providing, right? So if you people will be participating more to other people's session, so it will be a great honor to them as well, and it will be a great honor to your university as well. So make sure there is a lot of participation, and make sure there is a lot of consideration for the effort somebody is putting in. So thanks a lot. It was a wonderful session with all of you. And if in any case you need anything, any assistance, I'll urge the organizations to share the LinkedIn ID of me to the pupil or to the people who have joined the session so that we can interact there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.